Well, greetings and welcome, all you traditional knife enthusiasts from around the world to Baxter's Blades. You're entering the Tiger Pit. It's been a bit since I've made an actual video. This is another case unboxing. Pow! Sale price $79.99. Shepherd Hills exclusive. I bet you can guess what it is. Can't figure it out? Well, let me show you. It's a burnt bright green bone corncob jig Russlock. Yes, a lizard skin Russlock. This is 61953 and a half. L is for lock, stainless steel. Manufactured, whoa, June 12th, 2025. Let's check out this bad boy. I'm not a huge Russlock fan. I do have one I will compare it to in a bit, but I am a lizard skin fan, and I'd recently got the Barlow and the Copper Lock. And I was going to pick up the Muskrat. I probably should, but I'm glad I didn't, because bam, this dropped. Now, that's a pricey piece, but all relative, this is actually really affordable for a Russlock. They're usually in the 90s, over $100. So to get a lizard skin and a drop point for $80, what a deal. I did not have a drop point in my collection. It's very rare. I didn't see any other drop points left. Now, I did put in the notes, please check out this bad boy. Looks like it may have been opened here. So Lee, I hope you did me right. Let's check it out. See if the crows are gonna come. Whoa. Yes, the drop point. I'll compare it to the traditional Russlock in a second. Yeah, tested XX right there. Very nice show side. Really nice consistent burn on this one. Blade centering is actually better than my other one. My other one's on the liner. Wow. I don't see any major gaps. I have heard of people having fit and finish issues with these. Here is the pile side. Little burn here. Little lighter burn on the ridges there. Yes, the Russlock. Definitely different than my other one. Not my favorite pattern, but at that price, at a lizard skin, a very unique blade shape, I had to do it. One hand opening, one hand closing. Look at that blade. Pa-pow. They call it a drop point. It's almost a spear point. It does look like they have a little bit of swedging here at the top. You can see the model number, Made in USA, case laser engraved. Nothing on the back side. Wow, no left-right blade play, no up-down blade play. This is actually better than my other one. You do have a liner lock here, so you can push it in, and one-hand close. Very nice. So whereas the blade's not perfectly centered, it's not on the liner. Greatly appreciated, Lee. Thank you for picking out a good one for me. Yeah, I just ask him, no major gaps, mostly centered blade, and I like a good burn. And I think he checked all three of those boxes. It would stink to get a dud and then end up having to send it back. But very nice piece. Let's get it out in the sunlight here. Mirror polish. You can see my big fat fingerprint there. Yes, I had never really tried the Russlock, and I picked up one, and this is the only one I've had for a while, and I've carried it. It's not my favorite carry, even though for a traditional knife, it's very cool that you can one hand open and one hand close. Now, I can do that with my Buck 110, but it's a little bit more of a ordeal of spinning the knife around in my hand. But this is your typical Russlock, except this one is in carbon steel. I do have some Teeners there on the blade. This is the pocket-worn Crandall Jig Gray Bone. Very cool. Now, I am not a big fan of the liner locks that stick out like this. I always thought, they don't feel good in the hand like that, but these blades are so thin and slicey that I generally hold them like this. So I don't even put my finger over that. That's how I've learned to do it. Now, they're not a hard use knife, but a very cool knife. Again, I'm not going to hold it like this. You can choke up a bit if you want, but I don't like these style of liner locks on any knives, on any Rough Riders or anything. But, so I figured I'd try another one though, just to get the drop point and lizard skin. You can see the difference in the blade shapes. A lot of reflection here. There is a swedging on the Woody Woodpecker here. That's what I call these blades. See? Can you see it? Woody Woodpecker, the Russlock. Very thin and slicey blade. You can see how it really tapers down here. So checking the blade stock and comparing, it's about the same down here, but that's where it ends. This one, the clip point, or whatever you want to call that, definitely tapers down much more. You get a little thin, slicey, flexible blade here, kind of like a razor. But you can see the blade stock here, it gradually tapers down. So this might be more of a hard use knife. Harder, I guess. A little bit more strength to the blade. Excuse me. Also a little bit more meat to the blade. So for sharpening over time, this is going to end up being a slim toothpick. And this has much more meat to sharpen off before it kind of gets whittled down to a little Woody Woodpecker. Very interesting. So this will not patina, it's stainless steel. So if that's a Woody Woodpecker, what's this? Almost looks like an alien. It's even green. Quite the contrast. But yes, I remember seeing Dogleg Doug. He had one of these drop points, and I just thought it was super cool. They do, when they measure the length of them, the close length, they do incorporate this thumb flipper here. So they say like, what, 4 1/4, but in actuality, the handle length is much shorter. They just include this in the close length, of course, because it sticks out. And it's one of the reasons I do not carry it that often. I mean, you can put it in a slip. I generally put tang down. I guess I could. But you want a slip big enough to kind of cover that, because if you're sitting in a car or something, this will kind of poke out into you. So yes, very good lockup on this. I thought they were all just loosey-goosey like this one. This one has a little hint of left-right blade play and a hint of up and down. Just very, ever so slight. I just assumed that was because of, to make them ease of opening and closing. You know, because obviously if you press that pin down too much, it's not going to be super smooth. If you do it too much, you know, you're not going to get that rock. But this is pretty dang smooth. Maybe not quite as smooth, but I have yet to clean it and oil it. I just unwrapped it. It really pops in the sun, doesn't it? Fingerprints and all. Well, thank you so much for joining me in the Tiger Pit for the unboxing of this new release from Shepherd Hill Cutlery. Fantastic deal. I don't have any discount codes or anything like that to get even more of a discount, but this is one that you cannot find anywhere else. To get the lizard skin, you can either look on eBay, and everybody prices them super expensive, or you can go to Shepherd Hills and get them while they're in stock. Because once they're gone, they're usually gone for quite a while. And this is, I've never seen a lizard skin Russlock. And honestly, if they had released it in the Woody Woodpecker, I probably would have passed on it. I seriously got it for this badass blade shape. Not just the lizard skin, but it is a bonus. Great one to add to the collection. I appreciate you all for joining me in the tiger pit. I'm just looking at the... Boy, I need to go through my knives and clean them up. The bolsters have all these like little hairline scratches and stuff from carrying, and just takes a little case space and polish. Thank you for joining me in the tiger pit. I appreciate you all. You stay sharp, be kind, and take chances with a new knife style or blade shape. Take care.